But y'all not gonna talk to me any kind of way. You will not disrespect me. And then next time you do it, I'm gonna slap the piss out of you.
Hey family, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about the family scapegoat. Some of you know exactly what I mean, and I saw you talking about it in the comments. So I felt like this would be a good video to follow up as we close out the Braxtons. I'll be doing this video and I have another one, and then we will be transitioning until another show, okay, which will be Ready to Love. So for now, we're going to finish talking about the Braxtons. And of course, Tamar is the family scapegoat, and I'm going to show you exactly why she is. And for those of you who know what I'm talking about, go on down in them comments and give me your opinion, okay? I have plenty of clips, and it's really going to reveal a lot about this family. And I know, some of you've seen these clips and probably have forgotten, and some of you have not. But I'm going to open your eyes to some things that I'm sure that maybe you have never thought about, especially now seeing what's going on in this family. So let's get started.
And totally disrespected. Cursing and MFs and all that. That's
So as you can see, Mama Braxton is pretty much scolding her daughters about what happened and how they were acting that she did not like. But I want you to watch what Trina has to say, because Trina is always the one trying to play like she's little Miss Innocent. But truth be told, Trina is very sneaky, okay? So let's listen to what Trina has to say.
not necessary.
I want to start off by saying that I'm sorry for disrespecting you and using the language that I used in front of you, because that wasn't okay.
Now, as you can see, Trina is apologizing. She's the one that steps up and she's apologizing to her mother for her behavior. And everybody else is quiet. Nobody is scolding Trina for what she said. Nobody is jumping on Trina for what she said. The sisters are not coming together, pointing a finger at Trina for what she said. But it doesn't operate like this when it comes to Tamar, right? We've seen this. Everything that Tamar does and says, these sisters have something to say. And so Tamar is going to ask her mother this question, and watch what happens.
You told he was gonna slap the piss out of him? You felt totally disrespected. You came to my house and told me you was gonna slap me in the face. This one right here say the D word. I have to watch my tongue, but nobody has to watch what they say.
Now, did you catch Trina rolling her eyes, and Tony automatically starts to jump in to defend Trina? Trina talks about the D to her mama, right? Or in front of her mama. And her mother talks about how she's upset because the girls, can't get along and they were disrespectful. And she talked to Trina, actually, she talked to all the girls together and was very calm in what she said. Tamar does not get the same response when she says something. She didn't then, and she don't now. And this was years ago. So I want to go back and reflect and show how these things have been going on. But Tony comes right in, because to me, Tony is the golden child. Everybody loves Tony. Tony has been the one that was taking care of the mama, the daddy, and all the sisters. So see, she picked up where the mother and the father failed. So these sisters have an obligation to Tony that they don't have to Tamar. Even though Tony left them the same way Tamar did, okay? Tamar was building her own career the same way Tony was. What's the difference? Why does Tony get special treatment and Tamar doesn't? Because Tony is the golden child and Tamar is the scapegoat.
When you get nobody has to watch what they say, but I can't say what I want to say.
You said what you wanted to say.
No, I had not
back down for this.
I'm not asking you to back down. I didn't ask to be here.
So you see what just happened? Tony jumped in when nobody was even talking to her. Tamar was talking to her mother about how Trina gets away with saying something very disrespectful, talking about somebody's D, the body part on a man. And Tony comes to defend Trina. But you may ask yourself why, right? Because Tony wants to come in and make sure she reinforces that she is the golden child and that what she says goes. And she also has to keep her sisters being loyal to her by coming in and stepping in to defend Trina, knowing Trina was dead as wrong. So again, she says to Tamar, and this is where the gaslighting comes in. I'm not going to back down from you. Tamar says nobody asked you to back down to me. First of all, you weren't even the one that she was talking about, Tony the Braxton. So why in the hell are you even putting your 2 cents in a situation that is not even about you in the first place? Again, Tony has to come in and play the savior because Tamar can see straight through all of them, including Tony. And she is the other one who gets to speak out. And if by chance these sisters start to listen to what Tamar says, then guess what that does? It threatens Tony's authority. It threatens Tony being the golden child. She cannot sit back and let Tamar rise to where the level to where her sisters have put her. See, Tony is on a pedestal. Tamar is not. Tamar is beneath them and under their feet. This is how they act anyway. Where Tony is above them, standing down, looking over them. Y'all see what I'm saying? Some of y'all know.
Just, no, I can't take it. I'm getting too old and I'm tired. Tired. Why? Because I'm trying to keep my family together.
Now, here comes Miss E with her guilt tripping. I'm getting too old and I'm tired. I'm trying to keep my family together. That's guilt tripping. This is what she does with her daughters and what she's been doing. Make everybody feels guilty because nobody can speak their mind. When she says something, it's the way it goes. A lot of families are this way, even when the mother is wrong, even when the mother has been the problem. See, because if Tony wasn't put on a pedestal the way that she was, then maybe Tamar wouldn't be the one put up under their feet the way that she is, and she wouldn't be the scapegoat. So the minute that Tony talks and Tamar, has something to say, immediately here come Miss E with the guilt tripping and talking about she's tired and old. Really, Miss E? You ain't too old when you running your mouth and you telling people, how about that? You ain't too old then. You weren't too old when you was going after the daddy, okay, saying everything about him. You wasn't too old then, and you ain't too old, okay, to sit back and let your daughters work their what's off to make sure they take care of you. A lot of women, are still grinding at this age. And I'm not talking about, remember, this is years ago. This isn't the current. This was years ago. So Tamar too was helping out, not just with the mama, but with Tony. Y'all remember what what Tony said about Tamar is the only person that ever helped out when it came to the mama, and that helped her. But let's go on.
To me, family is everything. I was raised that way. I raised y'all that way. You guys are all you got.
Right there, Miss E admitted to what's wrong with Tamar and why she keeps coming back. She raised them that way. Family is everything, and family, you're all that you got. That's all that each other has, right? So Tamar keeps coming back, not because she has to, but because she's been taught to come back. She's been taught to put up with the abuse and the gaslighting and the manipulation, and your sisters is all you got. That family is supposed to stick together no matter what, no matter how toxic they are, no matter how much they steal from you, no matter how much they use you, no matter how much they disrespect you. You still are supposed to accept them as family and try to make it work. You still supposed to be for the people and stand for and look out for the people who are not looking out for you. All in the name of family. This is what's wrong with Tamar. But let's go on.
Tamar, you have a funny look on your face. What?
I definitely feel by myself, and I will probably always feel by myself. But that's good.
Tamar.
And Miss E yet again is playing dumb, like she don't know what the problem is with Tamar. Tamar's been feeling this way. She's been saying it for years. She's been trying to get everyone else around her to acknowledge it. But instead, what do? They say Tamar is the problem. See, the ones that speak out are always the ones that's the problem, because you're not supposed to speak out. You're supposed to accept whatever it is that's happening to you. She was supposed to accept the role of the scapegoat. She was supposed to sit back and let everybody gang up on her and not say anything. But then when they need her, she's supposed to show up and be there. Like now, Tamar's mother is living with Tamar. She's taking care of her mom, right? Well, at least that's what they say. I don't know if she moved in with her permanently or what. And yeah, people say she's there for Logan, but Logan's old enough to take care of himself. Let's be real. And Tamar could get help if she really needed. So she's there for her mother. She said in the interview that she takes care of her mother and her father. And she has helped her sisters many times that she hasn't even told the public about. But yet and still, back then and now, it seems to be the exact same thing that is happening to her over and over again. And even though Tamar is in therapy, therapy takes time. I think she's waking up some, but I don't know if she will ever get to the point where she realizes that just because you're born into a family, it doesn't make them family. Some of you know what I mean. Put in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. Some of you have had to walk away from your own family, and you talked about it in the comments, okay? And this is the reason why I'm building this safe space in the membership for us to come and talk in private. We won't be out on the front of YouTube. We will be talking about different things just like this and figuring out how to help each other. And if nothing else, giving you a voice where you can share your story. So if you want to come and join us in the membership, please do. The memberships are open. Now, let's go on.
Feels like everyone gangs up on her and attacks her. Here's the thing. If everyone all feels a certain way, then there must be some truth to it. And at that point, you need to kind of step back and reevaluate yourself.
Now, this is easy for Trina to say. Why? Because Trina is in the Mean Girls Club. See, her and her sisters are joined together to go against Tamar. Tamar has to stay in her place. She can never come from out of her place, and her place is the youngest child, the one that's supposed to be beneath all of them, while the rest of them get to say and do what they want. And the minute that she says something, there's a problem. And Trina is only saying this because Tony defends her when something happens. She always agrees with Trina. And if she doesn't agree, she act like she don't know what the hell Trina's talking about. Oh, I don't know. I didn't see that. So of course Trina's going to feel this way because she's not the one that's the scapegoat. Tamar is.
When did this happen? Because you and Tony was the best of friends.
Because Tony doesn't feel like nobody should have the right to say anything. Well, I shouldn't have the right to say anything.
And there it is. Tony doesn't feel like Tamar should have the right to say anything. See, she ain't worried about the rest of the sisters because the rest of the sisters are going to agree with whatever she says, okay? Tamar will not. She's the outspoken one. Some of you are the outspoken ones. And this is the reason why you are the outcast in your family or the scapegoat in your family. Yeah, talk about it in the comments. Share with the rest of us so the rest of the family will understand over here that you're not alone. See, so Tamar is calling Tony out yet again on how she thinks that she is be above everybody. She's the golden child, which she is when it comes to the parents. But I'm going to show you how Tony became the golden child because it wasn't always that way on the next video. So y'all stay tuned for the next video because we're going to break some things down about Tony the Braxton, the celebrity, okay, the golden child. That's her new name. Tony is the golden child. We're going to break some things about Tony and her parents, okay? But this is the problem. They needed to shut Tamar up because she was telling too much on this show. They wanted the world to believe that they was practically perfect. And they wanted Tony to stay up on her high horse with the halo around her, being the golden child. But Tamar is telling the world too much. Always has and probably always will.
It's whatever she says. And then that's the bottom line. It's whatever she says and nobody should say anything. And whatever they all come up with is just what it is.
If you notice Tony's face, right, when Tamar said that, because Tamar is calling her out. And of course, again, the person that's getting away with everything never wants to be called out. I don't care if it's a family situation, if it's an intimate relationship, if it's a work relationship. The person that's getting away with everything never wants to be called out. Why? Because then everybody else can see who they are. And she's absolutely right. Whatever they come up with is what it is. So for Tony to try to feed us in this most recent season that she don't know what's going on and her sisters never told her, that's a lie, in my opinion. Because the golden child, the one that's put up on the throne, is always going to be aware of what's going on. Why? Because the sisters need her approval before they do anything.
It's the truth, because that's what they all going to agree. Like, no, they never don't agree with each other. I think my sisters do side with Tony, including my mother.
You see what just happened? Tamar is telling production exactly what she feels, but she also told the mother and Tony to their face and the other sisters. And see, exposing this on national television when they have put on the face of we're the perfect, little family and we fight, but it's not a big thing because everybody fights. It's not that deep. We love each other. Now, there's such thing as people, loving each other. And then there's that toxic kind of love, the kind that you don't need, but most people think that they need. And this is what's been happening with the Braxton. Tony knows everything, but pretends that she knows nothing. She wants to be seen as the innocent one. And let me tell you why I think she knows everything. Because the sisters need her approval. How is it that you know nothing, but every time something happens, you pop up and then you talk about, I heard about what happened last night. The one that talks to the sisters in the background, and then when she gets out front, she don't know what the hell is happening. She has no clue. I don't know what's wrong with Tamar. I don't know. So what Tony has done, if you notice, she switched up a little bit from the past seasons. Now she wants to act more like the peacemaker, but she's really the ish starter. Because again, like I said on my previous video, if you didn't see it, Tony is the one who prompts the whole conversations against Tamar. Well, what happened? I heard you all had a fight last night and Tamar got upset. Or, what do you all think about what happened, with Tamar? Those kind of things. See, the ish starter. What you do is bring up a conversation. You light that match, throw the match. Once the fire starts, you step back or walk away like you don't see it.
I don't know why the fight's got to be to the death. It can't just be an argument or a disagreement. Everybody's fine, and this is not a war. That's the part I don't get.
That's Tony. But Tony's been doing this. But because Tony is a celebrity, and because the world saw her that way, and the world too put her on a pedestal and made her the golden child with the glow around her, nobody wanted to see what Tamar was saying. Everybody talked about how wrong Tamar was, but nobody could see Tony, the Braxton, the celebrity. But I see you, Tony. I see you clearly.
Against me, I have to have my own back. And that's that. That's just the bottom line. That's it.
See, this is what I believe. Tony is the golden child because she was taking care of the father and the mother and the family. She became the surrogate parent. And we'll talk about this again on my next video. She became the surrogate parent by default. And the father and the mother, the parenting they did was, and not the father, he walked completely away. Okay, so he abandoned his children. But he's just as responsible, okay? Because abandonment is just as horrible as the parent that's staying, that's toxic. So the mother became the authoritarian figure. She was the one that said, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this. And Tony, by default, became the surrogate parent because she was the provider for the family, which gave her a voice. And because they needed her financially, Tony was able to do and say whatever she wanted after a while, once they became dependent on her, which also gives people sometimes a huge ego, right? And being as though she was in the industry with all these other people, although we see her as being quiet and mild-mannered, I don't think that's who Tony D. Braxton is. I think Tony can get down just as much as these other girls. She's just been hiding it for her public persona, right? And so that also made it bad for Tamar because she was able to do things in private but not show them on the screen. Tony, being the provider of the family, gave her a lot of power. A lot of power the rest of the sisters didn't have. Because, see, when I need somebody to take care of me, or if I need to run to somebody for money when I'm in trouble to help me pay my bills, then I'm going to have to do what they say, or else I might get cut off. Which to me pushed her into the one that had all the power, even over her mother. Because we're going to leave Mr. Braxton out of this for now, okay? Because that man went about his business and didn't give a damn about his kids. And I'm going to get on him later in another video, okay? In my last video that's coming up. But Tony became the authority even over Mrs. E, because Mrs. E needed her daughter.
Well, mommy and daddy's divorced, and a divorced mom pretty much got nothing. I'm not going to leave my mom by herself.
She needed her financial support to take care of her, and you're not going to buck the system when you're dependent on your daughter. Could she have worked? Maybe she did work a little. I don't know. I don't know nothing about her working, but let's just say she did. We know that Tony took care of her. Why? Because she said so, and so did Tony, and so did Tamar. Like I said, Tony becomes the golden child, and Tamar becomes the scapegoat. And now that Tamar is the one who's making just as much money, if not more, Tamar is getting tired of them trying to hide all of this and being the scapegoat. See, she left the show once because it was producers that were also in this mess and was cutting things up to their own advantage to continue to make her the scapegoat. She was a scapegoat for the family. She was a scapegoat for the show, in my opinion, from what I've heard from her in her different interviews. And now she has a bigger voice than she had before, because now she's also in production, and all these little sneaky, dirty, lying things are coming out about this family that's supposed to be so perfect, and they don't like it. So y'all go down in the comments below and tell me what you think. Give me your opinion. And if you have any stories you would like to share, please share them. Don't forget the membership is open. I got some things planned for us. And we could talk a little more. We can go deeper on these subjects in the membership, okay? Just join the link. The link will be in the comments of the video for you to join. And please like, share, and subscribe. And you have to turn on all notifications, not just notifications, all notifications to get notified whenever I drop a video.
I should've known better, Aisha. I should've known better that I'd lose. I should've known better. Tell me that this wasn't all for nothing. I should've known better than I did. I should've known better. Love's love, man.